Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in Yamato. And we're going to go over the build real quick. I've had a couple of people ask recently what my build is. This is my current build. It is Arpeggio Yamato with Andrew Cunningham and Paolo de Revel as our inspirations. We are running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, Long Arm of Justice, and Fight Fire with Fire. Okay, this is my current build. We have the Aiming Systems Mod 1, Steering Gears Mod 2, Concealment System Mod, and of course the Main Battery Mod 3 Epic module. So that every 30,000 damage we get a little bit more reload, right? Anyway, the other thing you could do, and the build that I used very recently, and up to like very recently, was the Takeo Takagi build. Okay, this is the base game commander, and again, Andrew Cunningham, Paolo de Revel, Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, Reaching Out XXL, and of course, Fight Fire with Fire. Okay, so if you guys are free to play and you want to check out the build, I used this build for the longest time. I only recently switched over to the ARP Yamato, or yeah, the Arpeggio Yamato commander. But anyway, just thought that I would jump in, show you guys my build currently, as well as, you know, the build for free-to-play users, in case you're interested in my Yamato. And with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are going to be on Shattered, and of course we are in the Yamato. Now, this is a ship that a lot of people are very, very excited to talk about, one way or the other. They love to hate it, they love to love it. And there's not a lot of in-betweeners. I fall in the middle of the in-between, right? Like, I know, shocker. There's a joke there. Y'all have fun. Anyway, have fun. But anyway, what do I mean by, why do I feel like the Yamato kind of falls in between? And here's why. As good as the Yamato is, it's got a lot of good things going for it. It's got fantastic armor, so long as you don't over-angle. It's got guns that can do absolutely great things, like overmatch pretty much everything in the game. But all of this comes with caveats. What are the caveats? If you over-angle a little bit, you die, right? And just the way it works, okay? Or even if you don't die, you're going to get hit hard, because the citadel on this thing is the easiest citadel in the world to reach, right? So you over-angle a little bit, Citadel City. Easily, right? But the guns are Japanese dispersion, right? Now here's the problem with Japanese dispersion. It's a tale of two ships, and you never know what you're going to get, right? You pull the trigger one time, you got rail guns, 30k straight through the bow of a battleship that thinks he's tough. And then the next time, you shoot at a broadside target, and all your shells spread out like they're the Beatles, right? They don't want to be around one another. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But at the end of the day, what you do get is a ship that is just fun to play. You don't know what you're going to get out of the shots, but all you do know is it's going to be fun. So the other bad thing about this ship is that it only gets 2 heals. It gets 2 heals because the damage control is not the greatest either, right? Like, if this thing got more heals, it would be busted. And you could go with a full, like, survivability build. Now, here, I thought I was going to catch this Salem come around the island. He's too smart for that. He decides to kind of play around and go into the island. Fair enough. But, you know, you can play around all you want, but eventually, you mess around long enough, you're gonna get slapped, right? And this is what we talk about. This, look at that. Okay, I know I looked away, but that grouping, insane. I knew that man was dead as soon as I saw those rounds going through the air. All right, you can see it when you get that RNG, right? Now watch what happens. This is tragedy. We go from like highest high to lowest low here. Watch this. Man is in a smoke screen. He's chilling, right? He gets touched by like one round, immediately takes off. I had no idea he was going to do this. I was like, he's just going to sit in a smoke tree. No, man's is like crazy. He's like, I'm going to go. If he just stays there for an extra couple of seconds, I probably kill him too. But no, man goes full crazy mode. If I was a little bit more patient, I probably kill him too. But I didn't expect him to leave his smoke screen. Why would you just set a smoke screen and then take off like a bat out of hell? Like, it doesn't make sense. But what ends up happening is not ideal. Mans abandons his smoke screen, takes off. We're going to go ahead and take shots at the main here. Notice that we're not giving up our flank. We're not being stupid, but we're not giving up our flank. One of the number one things that go wrong in this game, on this map, is people giving up their flanks. And I got to give a shout out to the cruiser that's right here in front of me too. Did you guys notice at the beginning of the match that man put it in reverse and then went around the island instead of going in front of the island? Probably saved his life, right? Or at least saved him from taking a massive hit for no reason. A lot of people go in front of that island, and a lot of people get slapped over and over and over again without realizing that they should probably change what they're doing. Now, shooting at the main's doing a pretty good job of, like, keeping himself from being slapped. Ohio is kind of thinking about being a problem. And at all times in Yamato, you have to know what's around you. Whether it's destroyers, whether it's battleships, cruisers, you got to know what's around you because you don't have the damage control / heals to be able to deal with cruiser spam for very long. You cannot get caught broadside by a battleship. And destroyers will send you to the Shadow Realm because Yamato, while it is pretty solid, is very susceptible to being absolutely yeeted by destroyers. Again, the heals, you only get 2. So, if you take a bunch of torpedoes, you're in trouble, right? So, not ideal. Now, you do have some of the best, if not the best. I think it is the best torpedo reduction in the game, because you're a thick, thick ship. But we absolutely slapped that main there. And as we push inside, we know that the destroyer's not here. Because when we do get the chance to go dark, we get to go dark, right? The destroyer's not here, obviously. But unfortunately, the Dalian is now sitting in a smokescreen. I'm watching what my destroyer's doing, right? So I just got to tank this for a little bit longer. And you'll see that I do go, like, dude, I need spotting, right? Like, if this guy spots this Dalian while he's sitting in his smokescreen spamming at me, I just murder him. I'm pretty confident. The guy had less than half his health. Yamato is fully capable of sending a Dalian to the Shadow Realm. Also, you may or may not have noticed at the beginning, I didn't notice at the beginning, but we had a fail div on our team, because there's an Alabama in this lobby. I don't know what else we've got in the lobby, but there is an Alabama in our team. So, yeah, Alabama and Delaware ended up being in a div together. But look at the torpedoes going into the smoke screen. Despite him not doing a spotting job, he does actually do his job. Gets some torps into that smoke screen. Dalian punches out the backside. I'm about to shoot him, and that torp looks really good. Yeah. So, shout out to the Yugamo once again. Like, I don't mind being bait. I really don't. If people gonna shoot me, that's my job as a battleship. Take some hits, right? You're not supposed to not take hits in a battleship. But, one of the things that people get wrong in battleships is that they take too much damage and in fights that they shouldn't be taking damage, right? Like, you can take damage in a way that doesn't get you yeeted, right? Like this Ohio, he is angled, by the way, but he does start to reverse, and that's going to get him a little bit further away. I was going for the big hit there. I'm pretty confident at this range that Yama has enough to pin that at that angle. But, yeah, as he starts to reverse a little bit, that pulls him further away from us. So the shells end up dropping short. But that's just me being, what do you call it? Oh, greedy. That's the word I was looking for. But we end up getting a shot into the Ohio. We've taken a lot of damage here, but we wait to use our damage control until the Ohio dies because he's a secondary battleship. And we don't want to be permanently set on fire. And that's when I spot the Schlieffen. And I'm like, oh, god darn it. I just damage controlled too. This is a Schlieffen. I'm going to be set on fire pretty quick. So, I can't go into the Schlieffen, right? Schlieffen dev strikes me in multiple ways here. He can kill me with his guns by going and driving by. I'm not going to kill him in that scenario most of the time. Or, if he doesn't kill me with his guns, he's at least got torpedoes. Either way, I die. So I don't want to take that fight. So I start kiting, right? I turn away, I kite, get around the island, and people tend to have goldfish memory in World of Warships Legends. People do. I don't know why. They just do. It's like once you go dark, you no longer exist. So there's no what is that thing that you teach toddlers with peekaboo? The persistence, right? Like when people disappear, they no longer have the ability to realize that we still exist, right? It's the same thing for a toddler or a baby. You play peekaboo with a baby. When you cover your face, it thinks that you legitimately disappeared, and this is object permanence, right? Same thing for World of Warships Legends players. Once you go dark, people forget you exist, and this man's broadside is crap. And yeah, you're done. You don't get to pass go. You don't get to collect $200. You're done. The man had every advantage in the world, and he just threw it away just like that because he forgot that I exist, even though he just spotted me 30 seconds prior. You can't make it up. Like, what did you think I was doing? Maybe he thought I beached on the island would be the only other option. But you can't take that chance. You can't. You just assume that the guy's going to make it, right? Assume the worst case scenario for you. Assume that I make it around the island so that you just go bow in, come straight through. Now, either way, he's taking on the Colombo and me at that point. But he's not broadside to do it. Now, Navarin is just being a guy. He fires his guns at Colombo. I fire my guns back, and we get a terrible result. 1 pin, 2 ricochets off of an angled battleship. Nothing crazy there. But unfortunately, I'm the one spotting him, so I have to kind of like double back here to make sure we get him spotted again, as he's going to reverse. You know he is. He's done it the whole game. He's just been hiding behind this island the whole time, so we're not expecting him to charge forward or do anything crazy here. So we're going to go ahead and take the shot as he's reversing. We want to get a nice chunk of damage off of him. Now the problem with Navarin is it sits low in the water and it has a lot of gun turrets, and then we get just the most Japanese dispersion you're ever going to see. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about that Japanese dispersion, right? Grouping is a great thing, but sometimes Japanese dispersion needs to be fixed, right? Like, you need to try to use, like, you can use Azure Lane Scharnhorst to get better dispersion. Grouping is where I use Andrew Cunningham, right? Because when I do get those shells that stick closer together, generally good things happen. So I prefer grouping over dispersion. But that does mean that every once in a while you just get those troll salvos. But when you don't get those troll salvos, I mean, you stack shells on targets and you do a lot of damage. Navarin goes down here, as you'd expect. I mean, we ended up with 2 dev strikes here. Plus, we got our first blood. Plus, we get a hike out. Plus, we end up with 180,000 damage and 3 kills and 2 assist medals. We've done our part, right? But as we go back towards the cap here, you can see smoke screen there. I don't know if that's our guy's smoke screen or theirs. Given the fact that their destroyer was last spotted behind the island and he is contesting the cap and our destroyer is running directly away from the cap, I'm going to assume that Lashun is there and ready to body him at any moment. So we're just going to try to put ourselves in position to counter him, right? If he comes out and shows himself, we kill him. Unfortunately, he does end up taking our destroyer down. But again, Colombo's right there. I'm right here. Colombo takes him out before I get a chance to shoot. So we end up with a fireproof medal to go with it. And, of course, we're going to get top of the leaderboard. 188,000 damage, fireproof, first blood, double dev struck, high caliber, top of the leaderboard with like 2,500 base. Not a bad game. First game of the day, by the way. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.